Hey, 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 welcome back.
Hi.
Hey
We're
everybody.
back. So, we have our wonderful little sister Rachel here joining us. And today we're going to chat about BBLs. Now, Rachel brought this topic up to me, and when I first heard it, I said, what? But I do think it's a good topic to talk about. I mean, it's something that's been sort of a norm for a while now, for decade, at least a decade. I still remember the 90s, which we'll chat about. But before we hop in, this is the Sip and Inhale podcast, and I want to make sure everybody has something to sip and or inhale. Are we ready? Yes. Okay. Quick sip. Okay, so let's hop in. So, just for viewers that don't know, a BBL is a Brazilian butt lift. And Rachel, I feel like you just have a little bit more understanding of just like the process. So, can you talk a little bit about BBL, like what the surgery is like, and what maybe some of the things we don't know about BBL, like the in between sort of thing?
Um, so I'm no expert, but as far as I'm concerned, a BBL is getting either fat from one place of the body and moving it into another place, specifically the butt and thigh area, maybe removing some back fat, arm fat. Um, and from there, you have to wear a faja and a body trainer to keep the surgery that was just done in place. So basically molding your body. And it's a long process. I think it takes a few months to heal. And you
Hmm.
have to, I forgot, but you have to get these like massages that
Read
apparently
that.
hurt to,
Clear the
what
lymph
the,
nodes or something like that?
yeah. And it hurts a lot.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
imagine. Yeah.
That does not sound like fun.
It does not sound like I'm sort of on the fence with this topic because so when I was younger, there was Brazilian butt lifts. We didn't it didn't have an acronym, of course, but the thought of it was pretty cool. Like, wow, you take this fat up under this fold on my back and put it in my butt. Like, I'm not a particularly big butted individual. I was trying to find a better word. I didn't find it. But the thought sounded pretty amazing. But like as I talked to Rachel a little more and just sort of heard the behind the scenes, because I feel like that's the part that people don't really talk about. You hear about the yup, I saved up the money to get it, and you see the end result,
Hmm.
but you don't really hear a lot about the in between. And so when Rachel brought this up to me and I started doing a little bit more research and I hear Cardi B talking about it and there are shows of women who have like gone around like sort of the back alleyway. They go in foreign countries and getting it. Like it's
Hmm.
a little bit scary. It sounds a little bit scary. And then to hear about the in between, all this pain, whew, whew. So I guess let's kick off the conversation with what would make a woman want to go through so much pain? And I want to be real honest because like sometimes I think if somebody came to me and was like, hey, I got five, you want to go get that thing? Would I get it? Answer's probably not, but I would think about it because I do have that in my back. I would prefer it not to be. So what y'all
Um,
think?
the first opinion is the male gaze. And the second is that female completely hates how her body looks and she feels though as though if it was changed to how she envisions it, then she would be perfect. She would have the utmost confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I think for me, that's probably where I question whether body augmentation is a self love or self hate. Like, I want to be clear. I totally understand the need to want to, or the desire rather, to want to change your body. Like, whether that's through exercise or, you want to feel good. You want to feel good about yourself when you look in the mirror.
True.
But at the same time, there's chemicals in this, like there's a risk of health. So are we really doing this to make ourselves feel better, or are we trying to be the girl in the video? Are we trying to be, the thirst trap on Instagram? Like, is it self-love?
I think it's an overall body image. I mean, I'm 30. For the longest time, it's always about somebody you see on a magazine or a video or a billboard, even if it's someone that's shedding very good light and are not just out there in the bad type of media, if that's a thing. It's your mind never goes to, well, I wouldn't want my body to look like hers. I think we're all programmed. I don't necessarily want to use the word brainwashed. But I think women in general are just programmed to be an it girl, or to have an it girl shape or some type of figure that looks like it. And I just don't really think it's an easy thing to escape. So it could be self-love or self-hate. It could be that maybe we're all brainwashed and we don't really know. And it's just a subconscious that
I
takes
wouldn't
you
say
that way.
self-love or self-hate. I think it depends on the circumstances.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think it
You said,
depends on the circumstances because, um, so like I love me and I love how my body is today, but I have thought about changing it, not a BBL per se, but more of a breast reduction type of thing. But
hmm,
I don't hate myself. I don't hate what I have now. I would just like less of it.
that's such a good way to put it. Like, I,
Okay.
I think I went through that sort of journey where, like, at first, I just did not like what I saw, period. I started working out more, and anytime you work out consistently, you feel better. Like, you might not even look better, but you feel better. And I think that's what sort of got me to a point where I can be okay now. But I definitely understand the feeling of feeling like you're not enough, or like you don't fit in, or like if you had a little more butt, or if your stomach was just a little flatter, or, and where does that come from? Like, who defined what women should look like? Where do we get that from?
It's a subconscious. We can't help it. The media is great at spreading it everywhere. Whether you are looking at telenovelas, whether you are on TikTok. I
Anime.
think people like Lizzo have made it a lot easier. Like there are not a lot of what you would consider a normal body person who embraces everything and would wear what any other person would, regardless of whether somebody finds it appealing. But there aren't many of her. Like when you say a normal body celebrity, a music celebrity, I'll just be specific. Lizzo is probably the only person that you would think of. But with her against hundreds of other artists, what are the difference when you're just looking at physical qualities?
Yeah. And why do we have to look? When did celebrities become the standard? Like, you know, in the 90s, right? The trend was to be super thin and you wore like low rise jeans. And I remember I was always subconscious because I've always been endowed in the chest space. But I felt very uncomfortable in myself, like because I grew up in Madison. It was predominantly white. It was very trendy. It was the Britney Spears look, the Christina Aguilera look. And now all of a sudden you switched and you got to be thick and your butt needs to be 4 times bigger than your actual thigh is. And you need to. But when did celebrities become the standard of looking? Why do I look at the TV and say, I should look like this? I don't walk down the street and see Tamika and be like, oh, I need to look like Tamika. Like, what is it about celebrities that makes us want to chase that?
It's just social media, period. I want to say when I was younger, it was seeing the girls in the videos, and then that went to TV, the magazines, and social media today, scrolling on Facebook, early Snapchat, and Instagram, and seeing what they were doing. And I wouldn't say they're a role model, but you would see the attention that they get, and you will want the same attention. Therefore, you want to change your body. So it did used to be skinny girls. It did used to be a natural look with flat stomachs and small butts, and now it's 4 times. It's and your booty don't even match your thighs. But
Exactly.
But that's
when
how
it
you want to look walking up and down the street.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
supposed
don't
to
know.
look good. When it heal, it's supposed to look good. It just don't. Like,
Okay.
have y'all have y'all seen Tiny recently?
I have not recently.
They don't really look too good in my point of view. Not looking too hot.
I will say, I remember, so I don't know, I was like 24. I'm working for a very big company at the time, and it was our first week of training. And our trainer pulls up a photo of Nicki Minaj. Like, we in training, but this is lunchtime. We just sort of kicking it, I guess. He pulls up this photo of Nicki Minaj, and she like, I guess she was in concert. She's sitting in a chair. She's got a leg raised, and you can sort of see some a booty cheek that she's sitting on. I was so embarrassed. Like, I'm the only black person in this room, and they showing this black lady up here who I want to be proud of, but she got like two booties or something. Like, one of her cheeks was under her cheek. I can't quite describe the visual I have them, but it was bad. Like, it was bad. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Like, I'm sorry that you spent so much effort, so much time, so much pain, and this is what I'm looking at. I think I read maybe afterwards. It's probably a rumor, but I think I read that maybe her booty
Yeah, she
had
was sitting on her booty implant.
Hmm.
yeah, see, that's
Yeah. I don't know who. I don't remember. I don't think I follow this person on TikTok, but he was doing a talk, and he said, "Why are you paying $10,000 for this booty? That $10,000 booty you have is sitting next to the same people and isn't getting you anywhere.
I saw that too.
Why did you pay $10,000 for this booty? Where is it getting you?"
Yeah, I
Have
think
you?
it's a need to be accepted. Like, we just want to be we want to walk outside and we want the whole world to be like, oh my God, you see her? Oh my. And that's just not realistic and just in reality.
How do you feel about the thoughts that instead of buying it, you could go to the gym and get it? Because I don't think you could go to the gym and have a BBL body. Over time, it could get like that, but some people just not built like that, and you can't get like that even if you go to the gym.
No, I was just talking to Jane about this. I was saying it's like, granted, I'm naturally big bootied, and that's just genetics. Have a chest. I mean, granted, I would like some of it to get reduced instead of enhanced. But it goes to genetics. It's like you can go to the gym consistently every day. You could not diet, but you could be eating appropriately for how much you weigh, and things just may not change. You may just have more energy, which is the point. Your skin may look nicer. You may be able to sleep a lot easier. But it goes down to genetics, how much water you're taking in, are you eating correctly? Like, a BBL isn't a natural body, which is why it's never something that anybody is going to get in the gym, no matter who you're paying or what super healthy smoothie that you're paying for monthly. It's just never going to happen. If your body was meant to look that way, it will look that way.
Now, what I will say, so I've had this unique experience. So all my life, I've essentially had a flat butt. Like, it just is. It's just one of the things that I always used to wonder how come I didn't get that one black girl thing. You know what I mean? I started going to the gym, nothing changed. Now, when I started doing yoga, I will say there's been a change. Is it BBL? Never. Not even almost. Not even. So, like, the idea that yes, you can improve your body or you can improve upon areas by going to the gym is true. If you focus on a lot of and I don't want to get into like spot training, and I know all of that, but if you are committed to something, you can see growth. But again, like Olivia said, this BBL body is not real. It's not something that your body would naturally do. And so, no, if you're trying to compare what you do in the gym to the months of painful lip massages and such, that's not it.
But to speak to it not being the natural thing or your body will never do it, it's not supposed to be, in my opinion, it's not supposed to be natural. It is a fantasy. That's the fantasy body that you have always wanted. The Barbie Bratz body that you, because
Mm-hmm.
when you put on your outfit, your heels, and your makeup, you are the image that you created in your mind. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
supposed to be it's supposed to be fake or fictional to
So
a
I got a
certain
question
extent.
for you. And I feel like it's like I've seen this question sort of on social media, and it seems to be a bit controversial, but a lot of people that you'll see that gets defensive about BBLs or that are supporters, right? They'll be like, um, I'm doing this for me. But is this something that you really do for you? And when I say something that you do for you, like something that you do for you is something that you do regardless of how other people react. If I love to sing, I'm a sing. I don't care how much you fuss at me about shutting up, I'm going to do it. Do we really feel as women that women that get these adjustments, and not all women, we can't pluck it out, but are we really just doing this just for us? Like, is it just to rub on yourself while you, or is it really to be appealing to someone else? In which case, do we do it for ourselves?
I don't think it's for ourselves. I sort of just can't. If you truly love yourself and you love your body, you like rubbing on your own skin. Like you love the skin that was that you're in. You love the body that was given to you. And if you don't like it, you modify it with what you have. I don't really think I like why would you if I want to enhance my booty, I'm gonna do some squats or something. I'm gonna go to the gym and try to do what I can with that. Eat more to gain more muscle, etc., etc. Um, but to go to a doctor, get consultations, and pay thousands of dollars for things to be placed inside me or to have fat from one place of my body move to another seems very extra. Like I think something extraordinary will have to happen for me to want to get cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I know
Except
that
for
they're
the
like,
breast reduction. Except for the breast
oh my
reduction.
gosh,
Just throw that in there.
uh, you were silly. I guess it's more like, what am I thinking of? Like those, I think of like severely overweight people who are just like, oh, there's just nothing I can do. But then, like, as TikTok has gotten more popular, you see people just like that who will show you a video within a year's time and they no longer have type 2 diabetes. Um, who, granted, I don't know them personally, so they could have gotten something and I wouldn't know. Or they could honestly have just been dedicated to putting better things in their body and being more active. Um, I don't know. I don't think it's something that's done. I think it's something that people think they're doing for themselves. not knowing that they're doing it because the images that they see every day don't look like them.
And I think that's the biggest
The
thing.
weight
I
thing.
think it's subconscious. It's not, it's not a conscious decision that I want to look like her. And so I'm going to go do this so that I look like her. I think subconsciously we think, I'm a woman. I want to feel womanly. I want to feel sensual. I want to get the reactions that other women get for being a woman. And so we sort of turn this into, I'm doing this for me. But in reality, I think that we're doing it for the response of others. We want others to respond back to us in the way that we think is right, is the way that a woman should be responded to. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think, as a human, we have drive. We have drive to go achieve, to go change, and that's amazing. But this BBL thing, like, it's gotten real intense. Just to transition a little bit, I saw that video that Cardi B put out, and like Cardi B is so real. She's so real. I believe everything she tells me. She's so real. But like to hear her really talk about it, to open up, and then talk about the dangers, like. When I first heard about the surgery, or just as I heard about it, rather, you hear about the dangers of like going overseas or going to some foreign places, right? But then I read that there is actually like a committee or like a coalition of sorts that came together and really tried to ban BBLs, period, in America because they're so unsafe. And so, like, hearing Cardi talk about it, I'm just like, oh, loves, we got to stop. Like, we can't just risk our life for a booty. We can't die for a booty, y'all. Like, my God, you know what I mean?
That's why I think the BBL era is over. Like Cardi talking about it, getting hers dissolved or removed, and lately Kim K booty been looking real small too, smaller than what it was.
But, and of course, as we come to our last few minutes, is that because they, and I'm granted I can't speak for everybody, is it because they actually feel that it's unsafe, or is it because just like any other era, trends are changing? Like the 90s, going back to those low cut jeans that you can only really wear if you have a small bottom, or like those type of trends are all coming back. Are you just maneuvering your body yet again to fit into a trend that as a celebrity you're going to be looked at to make sure you're following the trends that are current and not the trends that are in the past?
Right.
It's a combo of all of it. It's a lot of questions don't always have one answer. It's because there is trending, Y2K is trending, and fashion and social media is influencing them. It's because they're older and they're changing. They're moms. Maybe they don't need all of that extra booty bum weight.
Right? Maybe
And
it's a little extra weight back there.
Okay.
yeah,
I'm going to try to think of it in a positive
and
way. Granted, it's ended, so
maybe,
it's okay. So,
and then Cardi was talking about health issues. Maybe another reason is because of health issues. Maybe Kim K won't come out and say that. Well, maybe it was a health issue for her.
I'm going to be the devil's
Could be
advocate,
anything.
but I don't think the trend is ending. I think that we're getting more visibility into it, but I don't think it's ending. Ultimately, because we are a male-driven society, and everybody hates to hear that, but ultimately, if men react to this will always be popular.
all
His booties will rise
right.
again.
Well,
Booties will rise.
booties will rise again. Is that how we end this? Booties will rise again? That is not the affirmation we're ending with. Shay, what are we ending with today?
You know what? I gotta say, I like that booties will rise again. So if there's any booties out there that's feeling like they're going out of style, baby, listen to me. You will never be out of style. Booties will always rise. But I think our affirmation should be, I am already perfect. So I know that there are probably listeners, there are people that haven't gotten to the place of self love. But my message for everybody is to understand that you were created perfectly. I don't care if your skin is blotchy, if you have acne, if you're missing a leg, an arm, some toes, some fingers, teeth, eyes, whatever. We are already perfect. And I'm going to leave y'all with this story. So I like to listen to lectures. You all will hear that a lot. But one of the stories that I heard from this lecture is about a pose in yoga called I'm going to mess it up, but it's called the eight angle pose or the bound angle pose. And essentially the pose looks very long, and it's one of those awkward poses. It's one of those poses you see yogis doing. You like, wow, bodies do that? Anyway, the story behind this pose is that there was a man who was very broken. He was broken. Like, arms were all disformed. He was disfigured. He couldn't stand up. He was really sort of crawling around. He tries to do yoga and people laugh at him. But he still goes at it. He still keeps going. And long story short, he becomes the yogi. He becomes the teacher. People recognize that even though this man is broken, he's still capable of doing all of these different things, all of these different poses. So I say all of this to say, it doesn't matter what your body looks like. Your body is capable of doing amazing things that you couldn't fathom, regardless of whatever you're missing or whatever you feel should be. Mm-hmm. So the affirmation is, I am already perfect. You can always improve yourself, enhance yourself, do whatever you need to do to be happy. But understand at the basis that you are already perfect. Born that way.
Cheers.
Cheers, ladies.